All right, Aditya, stay on with me. Now, the European Commission's Vice President, Kaja Kallas, has announced that India and the EU have reached an agreement to sign a new security and defense partnership. This was confirmed on Wednesday, January 21. The partnership will focus on key areas including maritime security, cybersecurity and counterterrorism. The formal signing is scheduled for next week. During the visit of European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President António Costa to India, they will serve as chief guests at the Republic Day celebrations and co-chair the 16th India-EU Summit with PM Narendra Modi. Kallas, who will accompany the EU leaders on the trip, noted that preparations are progressing smoothly despite some challenges. This development marks a significant step in strengthening strategic ties between India and the EU amid a complex global security environment. Let's now take a look at India-EU defense deal and what we know about it. So let me show you that, viewers. Now, the India-EU defense deal, what we do know so far. Now, India and the European Union have agreed to sign a new security and defense partnership next week. The formal signing is scheduled for January 27, 2026 during the 16th EU-India Summit in New Delhi. EU leaders Ursula von der Leyen and António Costa will attend as chief guests at India Republic Day celebrations on January 26. And partnership will deepen cooperation in maritime security, cybersecurity, counter-terrorism and related areas like maritime domain awareness. Now, reflects shared concerns in an unstable global environment and aims to make both sides more ambitious strategic partners. Negotiations will also launch on a security of information agreement to enable sharing of classified intelligence. This forms part of a broader new comprehensive strategic agenda for EU-India ties through 2030. Now, the deal comes amid parallel efforts to conclude the long-pending India-EU Free Trade Agreement, potentially at the same summit. And the partnership opens pathways for enhanced defense industrial collaboration, joint initiatives and potential access to EU defense funding mechanisms. So that, of course, viewers, is an overview of what's really happening with the defense deal. And I have Aditya Vadhavan joining me. Aditya, what more can you tell us?
Well, absolutely. It's a multifaceted cooperation that will take place between India and the European Union, Vaishali, and definitely be it in the domain of security. And you very aptly described as to how there would be a bilateral collaboration between India and EU as far as the trade and security and maritime security and artificial technology are some of the key areas where this collaboration will penetrate. The European Union is a member of several European nations, very progressive European nations, and definitely it's a win-win situation. We could expect some mutually beneficial trade deals, over the next few years. That will definitely take the Indian economy to a positive trajectory. And apart from this, there are significant issues pertaining to this collaboration between the European and between the collaboration between European Union and so definitely at this juncture there are concerns as to how this particular collaboration between India and EU could further and further. Since Ursula von der Leyen, the EU chief, will be the chief guest at the Republic Day celebration, we could expect a lot more. Vishali.
Aditya, what more details do we have of the schedule once they arrive? They're, of course, chief guests, but then how many days are they staying? What is the schedule?
Well, definitely, they will be arriving this day before, and definitely there will be bilateral meetings with the Indian side, pertaining to trade, diplomacy, and definitely several other domains. There will be meetings in several other regarding several other agreements, in the domain of security cooperation, maritime security, technology, as to how both India and EU, which could be definitely mutually beneficial, and it needs to be seen from here on, whether till what extent will it be beneficial for India, this needs to be seen, because recently we have seen how the free trade agreement between India and EU was signed. So definitely there are a lot of initiatives that are lined up, and several diplomatic engagements will happen once the EU chief will be in India. Definitely. Vishali.
Aditya, thanks for joining me. I have now Colonel V.K. Sahi, defense expert, joining me on the broadcast. Colonel Sahi, welcome. And Colonel Sahi, the question that comes now to my mind is that, why is this partnership coming together now amid an increasingly complex global security environment?
Thanks for calling me in, Vaishali ji. We have old historical relations with the European Union, and there are no two thoughts. Only thing, in our historical relations, they were like masters, we were subjects of the British Union. Scenario has changed. Now the way their statements are emerging, India is an important partner. They have also used words like India is indispensable for European Union. So it is now from a place of self-respect, a recognized dignity with which we talk to them. And now, once they are coming for our Republic Day, Madam Kallas and her team and party, various commercial leaders, I think it will be a great opportunity to patch up, seal our relations, bring them to a new height, a greater height, a greater understanding, a greater give and take between two mighty powers. We are one decidedly. This awakening which has come, although people have been commenting differently about American President Mr. Trump. Now, whatever he did, his regime of tariffs and whatnot, but I think it has been a great awakening for Bharat, and we have woken up. We have to find alternatives. We do need friends. In a multipolar world like today, we can't get isolated. We can't get rejected. We can't get cornered. And I think a grand effort is being made by Government of India, our External Affairs Minister, our Prime Minister, and we are diversifying not only economic field. This deal also, I think, includes certain info security. It has certain defense chapters to talk about, and with all that put together, I think it's a grand opportunity for diversification as India is emerging as the third global power. Ji, Vishali.
Sir, I also have to ask you that, from the EU standpoint, what does India bring to the table as a security partner?
See, info security is one. And I think in that field too, thanks to Mr. Doval and his efforts, I think we are making a very grand beginning for the world. To ourselves, I think we have emerged out from whatever limitations were seen when some of our prime ministers, let loose certain chapters of our security network. But I think we are in a big way forward. And results are there. World is recognizing it, barring some exceptions who must talk evil of India within. But then there are changes, and there are recognition in the world of these changes. The global forces that we are recognizing us as a power, and we must utilize that recognition for the benefit of our mighty nation of 140 crore. It's a strength to reckon. The word understands. And if we don't utilize it now, I think we'll be losing something great. Ji, Vishali.
Thank you, Colonel V.K. Sahi, for joining me on the broadcast and your time. Now, in the Noida techie threat